It was a dark and stormy night when I found myself standing at the entrance of Willowbrook House. The wind howled through the trees, their branches gnarled and twisted like the fingers of a vengeful ghost. Rain lashed against the windows, creating a cacophony of unsettling sounds. As a young and desperate babysitter, I had heard rumors about this house, whispers of its unsettling history, but I needed the money too badly to turn back now. The parents had left hurriedly, barely giving me any instructions. They seemed anxious, as if they were glad to be rid of the place. I tried to shake off the unease that was settling over me like a heavy fog. The hallway was dimly lit, the old chandelier swaying gently overhead. I took a deep breath and pushed the creaky door open. The children, Lucy and Oliver, were already in their beds. Lucy was fast asleep, her blonde hair spread out across the pillow like a halo. Oliver, on the other hand, was sitting up, his wide eyes fixed on me. He couldn't have been more than 6 years old, but his gaze held a maturity far beyond his years. "Hello, Oliver," I said with a smile, trying to ignore the shivers running down my spine. "It's time for bed." He nodded silently and lay down, pulling the covers up to his chin. I tucked him in, and as I turned to leave, he grabbed my wrist with surprising strength. His eyes bore into mine, and his voice was a low whisper. "Don't go to the basement. Never go there after midnight." I mustered a chuckle, dismissing his warning as childish imagination fueled by the spooky atmosphere of the house. "I won't, Oliver, I promise." As I left the room, I couldn't shake off the feeling that I was being watched. I busied myself with tidying up the living room, trying to shake off the unease. The clock struck midnight, its chimes echoing through the house. The rain had intensified, the drops now beating against the windows like bony fingers. I decided to make myself a cup of tea, hoping it would calm my nerves. As I stood in the dimly lit kitchen, waiting for the water to boil, I heard it. An eerie, distant sound that sent a shiver down my spine. Whispers. Faint ghostly whispers that seemed to be coming from the depths of the house. I told myself it was just my imagination, that I was letting the spooky atmosphere get the best of me. But then the whispers grew louder, more distinct. It was as if they were right beside me, a chorus of disembodied voices hissing in my ears. My heart racing, I glanced at the clock. It was past midnight. Oliver's warning echoed in my mind, but curiosity and fear twisted together in my gut. I couldn't resist the pull towards the basement. The door to the basement was old and heavy, its surface marred with age. The whispers seemed to be coming from behind it, growing louder with every passing second. My hand trembled as I reached for the doorknob, and with a creak, the door swung open. A cold draft rushed up from the basement, carrying with it a nauseating smell of decay. The staircase was steep, the steps worn down by time. The whispers were now a cacophony of voices, urgent and anguished. I descended, the air growing colder with each step. The soft glow of a single flickering light bulb illuminated the basement. The sight that met my eyes made me gasp in horror. The basement was filled with shadows that twisted and contorted like tortured souls. The whispers were coming from them, their words incomprehensible, yet filled with desperation. And then, amidst the shadows, I saw her, a woman in a torn white dress, her hair matted, and her face a twisted mask of pain. She reached out to me, her eyes pleading. The whispers grew deafening, a cacophony of sorrow and rage. I stumbled back, my heart pounding in my chest. I turned and fled up the stairs, the basement door slamming shut behind me. The whispers followed me, echoing in my mind as I ran to the safety of the living room. Morning came, and with it, the blessed sunlight that chased away the darkness. The house seemed different in the daylight, almost normal. But the memory of that night haunted me, and I knew I couldn't stay here a moment longer. I packed my things, my hands shaking as I hurriedly stuffed clothes into a bag. As I made my way to the front door, I glanced back at the staircase leading to the basement. The whispers were gone, replaced by an eerie silence. I never found out what had happened in Willowbrook House, what tragedy had left its mark on the place. But I knew one thing for certain. I had encountered something beyond the realm of the living, something that defied explanation. As I stepped out of the house, I vowed to never return. The weight of the house's history, its haunting whispers, would forever remain etched in my memory, and I would forever wonder about the tormented souls that still lingered within its walls. trapped between this world and the next.